Hello, I'm Bill Cerrone, Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools, and I'd like to welcome you to Innovations in Education. Here's a preview of what's coming up. We'll show you a different type of school garden.
The biggest part of it, of course, is the learning. So there's service learning going on. The children are providing the service to their school. They're providing a service to their families because everybody's eating better. Everybody's eating more greens.
And we'll close the show with our calendar of educational events. Hope School has started a water tower garden to help students understand where their food comes from and to grow fresh, nutritious produce. It's also a fundraiser for the school. Let's see what's growing.
This project has been going on since the last week of January 2016. I love the outdoors, I love nature, and so for the last few years I've been working on trying to convert some of our green space to more drought-tolerant plants. And so 2 years ago, with the help of some community partners and especially the Santa Barbara Botanic Gardens, we put in a native plant demonstration garden with my 4th graders because that is part of the curriculum of 4th grade. And then last year we put in a succulent garden. So this year my idea was that we were going to do a vegetable garden and that we were going to have a weekly farmer's market. So I started thinking about that, and then I learned about these water tower gardens. And so I started asking around, and through that inquiry, I learned about this nonprofit organization, Youth Effort Farms, that has been recently started by a man named John Vincent, who just had a vision for putting these water towers in schools. And so we had some meetings, and he decided with his team that he wanted to launch his vision, his dream of putting these water towers in schools to promote service learning, to teach children about food production and where their food comes from, and, you know, to integrate science and social studies and, you know, just a lot all across the disciplines in every aspect of the curriculum from kindergarten through 6th grade. He decided that he wanted to launch this project with the Hope School District. And because of my passion for things that are growing in nature, I was all in right from the beginning. And so we have been learning as we've been going along. We've been, you know, first time anyone's ever tried this project, so we've had to do a lot of learning and trial and error. And the exciting thing is that my PTA got on board, my parents got on board, my staff got on board, the kids, of course, are on board.
I've learned how to tell different lettuces apart from each other. So if I'm making lettuces at my house from the garden, I can tell if it's romaine or butter lettuce. What I've learned here working in the lettuce garden is that there's so many varieties of lettuce, and you know, I've learned a lot more about how they grow and how we can help them grow.
I've definitely learned that plants can grow on towers, but not all of them grow on the ground. And I've also learned how to harvest all of the different plants that we have here. And it's a great community. It's great to learn how to do all of these things in life.
My job at this point is to help transition the schools so that they can become totally self-sufficient. So the aim here is to teach them basics, core functionality, then add little pieces at a time as they get more and more volunteers and more student-teacher participation. Then it becomes fully self-sustaining. The tool in and of itself uses, typically 80 to 90% less water than traditional farming methodologies. No soil involved, not pouring it into the ground. The fact that it's constantly recycling. I add maybe 5 gallons every week to the tank, and that's it, And that water is a combination of plant food and minerals in very, very fine solution. And that's it. Make sure the water's healthy and it's good. Basically, you're growing vertically in the same area that would require a 12 by 18 square foot area. So we're growing 44 plants in a tower. At any given time, we've got close to 230 to 360 plants in rotation. So we have them all scaled out and staffed out so that large chunks of the towers will come off at certain intervals to provide their customer base with the product that they need. The thing for me is watching the kids get reconnected to their food source and understand the paradigm shift that you get to experience with food coming from a tower versus food coming from the grocery store. When you have food like this, it's more immediate. You're maximizing the nutritional value and you're maximizing the flavor potential. And that's really exciting because when people get this kind of food on the palate for the first time, there's a big difference. You can see their eyes light up. They're going, wow, that's not the kale I'm used to eating, or that's not the arugula I'm used to eating.
Hey guys, remember, rip, set. Remember to take off the dead, bad leaves. Here you go. 1 kale, 1 butter, 2 romaine. We're in our Youth Effort Farms garden. We started this garden in response to a shortfall of money for specialists. We need to fund PE, art, computers, music, and this is our response to that shortfall.
One of our purposes is, of course, to raise money for our school. And so we have 2 different avenues of being able to do that. And one is through what we call consumer-supported agriculture. We have members. And every week, our members pick up a container that has 4 bunches of our greens. And the greens that we're growing are romaine and kale. We also have arugula, and we're now experimenting with butter lettuce. And so every week, our members receive 1 bunch of each of these for $8, of which 75% or $6 comes back to the school to support our physical education program.
My favorite thing about working in the garden is probably harvesting the plants.
I love making salads with all the different types of lettuce I get, and it's so delicious. It's probably the freshest lettuce you could get around here, and it's more delicious than the ones that you get in the grocery store. I could say that for sure.
My favorite thing about working in the garden is probably picking the plants, because I get to pick them and then put them into the things that we bring them home with.
I like working in the garden because I've always wanted my own garden and I like to grow things. I've learned a lot of things about the plants and how they grow and how to see how each one is different.
My favorite thing about working in the garden is harvesting the lettuce, because I think I like the best part, because I get to come home with lettuce and I get to eat it.
Okay, as soon as they have all 4 on there, make sure they go over to Indy so she can fill them with water. We're trying to incorporate as many students as we can. We've got kindergartners and 1st graders planting seeds, 1st and 2nd and 3rd graders caring for the seedlings, 4th graders transplanting them into the towers, and then 5th and 6th graders are harvesting and cleaning.
It makes me feel good that I know that we are supporting and giving to people lettuce that they need. I feel that other schools should try it, and I feel really lucky that my school gets to do this kind of stuff.
Well, it's really fun. I like the part where you either plant something in or take it out. It's just
something enjoyable, I think.
My favorite thing about the garden is how it relies solely on volunteers and how most of the profits go to the school.
I have a lot of students that are excited. On Thursdays when I talk about Harvest Day, I ask who wants to volunteer. Every week more hands go up, and every week more students are wanting to come and dedicate time. They take time out of their recess and their playtime to be here, which speaks volumes.
I really like working in the garden, from harvesting and cleaning, because it gets you that feeling of you're on a farm even though you're in school. And it's a good program because not all schools have this, and we're very lucky to have this program.
I feel like this is a good way to, be like connected with picking plants, like with each other when we're picking. And also it teaches us about nature, and it helps us get to eat healthy and have nice food.
When we get lettuce, we usually have some salad when it is at night. It's really good, and I think this kind looks the best.
So far it's been great. We've had a lot of really amazing parents step up and become our farm worker bees, we call them, and they come on Thursday and Fridays to plant, to harvest, and to distribute the greens.
I love the thought of kids growing. I have kids who do a lot of gardening at home, and they love eating food that they actually make or feel like they had a part in making. And I love the idea of getting kids eating healthier.
I'm just really impressed with a community organization coming into the education world and trying to bridge programs like this with kids and showing kind of like starting from the ground up, almost like, planting the seeds for our future. And I just really like the idea that everybody in our community can participate. Neighbors, parents, the kids especially.
The biggest benefit for the students is the specialist programs that it funds. But on top of that, there's a lot of ancillary things that we can do. Fifth grade's creating a recipe book, so they're organizing, they're researching, and publishing a book. The lower graders, it feeds right into the curriculum. They need to know how the parts of a plant, how plants grow from a seed, and they're planting seeds and watching them grow every day. And another just fun part is seeing this every day. It's a beautiful aspect to our campus. The sound of the water trickling is a nice white noise, and it's a place where people can kind of come and find peace.
The fundraising is only one part of it. The biggest part of it, of course, is the learning. So there's service learning going on. The children are providing a service to their school, they're providing a service to their families, because everybody's eating better. Everybody's eating more greens, which of course are more healthy. And these are the healthiest of greens because they're living greens. If you notice, as we've been harvesting them, we're extracting them from the tower with their root ball attached. And so they'll keep growing until they're ready to be eaten. And so the parents and the children come and pick up these containers, and the containers have water in them. My container, I just keep on my kitchen counter, and it's like having a beautiful plant growing on in my kitchen. And when I'm ready to eat it, then you just lop off the root ball and you're having the freshest of greens.
So Youth Effort has been about a 2-year process. A good friend and I that I've known since 4th grade, we grew up in Santa Barbara together. He went off in business, was very successful, and I went the educational route. And we've been trying to look for ways that we can create a nonprofit to help education, help offset some of the costs that schools face, and get a nice educational component to what we're going to bring to it. So Youth Effort started with a conversation around what can we do to help kids maybe have healthier eating lifestyles, get more education on being healthy, and it kind of blew up into a tower garden idea. Currently what we have is 11-foot tower gardens with 44 slots in each. We grow 4 different types of lettuce: arugula, butter lettuce, romaine, and kale. And for The kids take part in the planting, the seeding process, the planting process, the harvesting process, the cleaning process, and the packaging process, and it goes home to their parents each week. Currently, all funding is coming from the Vincent Family Trust. He's bought all the towers, the seedlings, the rock wool, everything we need to be successful. And over time, with enough consumers, those operational costs, if we grow, will grow as well.
And so what we're doing here is that we're elevating this back side of the table by 3/4 of an inch, so water will slope down and run off into a gutter that we've built.
We needed tables that John Vincent and I were going to build, and we realized that our skills probably weren't very good. And I said, hey, I work at San Marcos, let's get more youth involved, because that's the name of the program, Youth Effort. I know a good friend, Justin Howe, who teaches the woodshop class, so I approached him with it, and he thought it'd be a great project to get the high school kids involved and have some more outreach to the elementary schools.
Okay. Set this up. We'll try to flush it out on the edges. Really good program, not only for the elementary schools, but for the community as well. My students are giving back to their immediate community. So the work we're doing here is going to be felt immediately by Hope Elementary School. We're going to be giving back to those around us. And, you know, that's my message to these guys at the beginning of the year, that everything we do has a purpose. And hopefully, most of the things we do can be felt and seen by our immediate community. Now we're going to snap some lines for our nail marks.
I'm working on this project here with Mr. Howe, my construction tech teacher. So what we're doing here is we're building these tables so that people can grow plants on here, and they're going to stick it in here, then we're going to set it here, then they're going to put water so the water can like drain off. That's why we put it at an angle, so we can catch that water and it doesn't go to waste. We can keep on reusing it.
After we do that, watch what we're going to do. This is a little heavy, so I might have to do it this time. We're going to just sprinkle it. See that? Because is everybody seeing what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay. And now, step back. You don't want to get wet. But you see how we have this little tray that catches the water? And then it runs down. Move that little container to catch the water. Quick, quick, quick. Perfect.
I feel very fortunate to be helping in this project that helps kids to learn how to take care of plants, take care of their things, and help the environment is the most important thing.
The club I am a part of is called Youth Effort Farms, and is a nonprofit organization to help schools fundraise for their own school, but also getting something out of it and teaching them healthy living.
I'm a member of the Youth Effort Farms Club here at San Marcos. As a club, we've gone to some local elementary schools and we've gone to talk about Youth Effort Farms at their science nights. We've been to elementary schools to go help build greenhouses and prepare the area for the tower gardens for them to grow their own produce. It's nice to hear that the work that we're doing and the work that we're going to do is going to be helping these kids and also helping them live a healthy lifestyle, and they're bringing produce home from their schools that they're growing there to their families, and their families are eating this nice produce.
It has helped me learn to become a leader, and Youth Effort Farms has helped me become that I want to help others and I want to help them with healthier lifestyles, and also bringing everyone together from such a small town and having older kids work with younger kids.
Long-term vision, we would love to see towers at all schools, wherever enough sunlight will work throughout the year. With the educational components in place for elementary schools, it runs hand in hand. The other fundraising aspects for parents to be involved in their kids' education, and the outreach from other schools to school, and how they share ideas, share produce, share seedlings, share their knowledge, and share their education.
Dunk it in the water. Just let it dunk, 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 but we don't want it yet. Just get it soaking wet, okay? Soaking wet. And now reach in. So what we'll be doing today is planting some of these flats, which will then, in about 3 weeks, be ready to be transferred into our towers. And so the plan is to get the entire school involved in this project. And so That's why we have short tables and taller tables. The shorter tables are so the kinders and first graders can start this whole process, which will end with harvesting by the sixth graders. So the kinders, because they have little fingers, we'd be able to stick their little finger in these holes and drop a little seed in there, and then they'll be taking care of them, and then it'll all get transferred to the higher table so the second and third graders can care for the seedlings. So we want to get the whole school involved, right from seed to harvest and from kinder to sixth grade. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to put a bunch of little seeds in here. So we're going to slide it down and just going to do one at a time. Whoops, just one at a time, and then we put it in there, okay? One in each one. Maybe it's easier to just, if I put it in your fingers and you put it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to give each one, there, okay, put one in each hole. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I'll let you guys each have a chance doing it. Yep.
I put the giant garden on my house.
One in each hole, and then what do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna grow.
Yeah, and pretty soon it's going to look just like that one over there. What do you think we have to do every day?
Plant it.
What somebody said, water it, exactly. Okay, so you've had your chance. Who hasn't had a chance to plant yet?
Big picture, I hope that they learn that eating healthy is valuable, that working for their school is valuable, and that all of this makes sense in the grand production of what we do at school. And they are contributing to PE and music by eating healthy. It's kind of a fun, symbiotic relationship.
I like helping people find their bin when they're so I'm like, what's your last name? And then they'll tell me, and then I'll find their bin for them. And I like doing that.
Today's Friday, right? So on Monday, I want you to come down here and check on your seeds, okay? Okay. Because we want to make sure that they're growing.
We hope you have enjoyed this program. We'll close now with our calendar of educational events. Thank you for joining us. Please tune in again next time for more innovations in education.